What's up TBU, Cap over here, and welcome to our third week in next week previews as we're going to be taking a quick look at all the matchups in this league, and we're going to be doing a bit of a change up over here. We're going to be taking a quick overview of each team. It won't be really that detailed, it's just going to be like 30 seconds to a minute on each team, and we're just going to see matchups, recent records, and probably we're going to pick out one mod that could potentially change the game for either, the opponent or themselves. It could be interesting. It could be interesting. And as always, be sure to leave me constructive criticism. I want to keep on getting better at this, and leave it in the comment section down below. I will respond to everyone, and I just want to keep on making this program a bit better for all you people out there. So without further ado, let's get on to it. Alright, so first off, we have the Pine Cove Ramblers FC versus the West Coast Wingles, and the West Coast Wingles are coming off a 6-0 victory. They're on cloud 9 right now, 2-0 in the season, have a pretty good differential, but the Pokemon that I could really see shifting the tide in this battle is Hydreigon. Hydreigon is such a heavy hitter, and it's a Pokemon that you always have to prep for. The coverage that it has is uncanny, and it takes things on like Celesteela, Latias, Nidoqueen, Raichu. It could potentially take on Raichu, Mega Gyarados, Alolan Persian. So it really breaks a team down, and it could really wear down a lot of Potato Gem's Pokemon. So that's something that he might have to watch out for, and in my opinion, I think it could be something that could really shift the tide. In terms of the Pine Cove Ramblers, they have Celesteela. I think Celesteela can really bring the battle to the West Coast Wingles, just because he doesn't have a lot of things for Celesteela, like Jirachi, Sylveon, Scolipede. Scolipede does absolutely nothing to Celesteela, so that's something that's going to be really key to in this matchup. Roserade doesn't really do a lot unless he's running some sort of hidden power move or a leech seed set or something like that, but even then it doesn't really want to take it. And Floatzel does absolutely nothing too. So Celesteela could potentially bring Potato Gem's first victory, and it might be carried on the shoulders of Celesteela. So that's something that you have to look out for, something that the West Coast Wingles will have to prep for and really look out for. Potato Gem came off a narrow 2-0 loss to the likes of the Denace, and I know he's out looking for his very first victory of the season. So next up, we have the Munchlaxer Uniteds versus the Maryland Torterrapins, and this is sort of a tale of two coins, or a flip of two coins, something like that, whatever the saying is. What I mean by that is that Munchlaxer United won their first game and lost their second game, while the Maryland Torterrapins did the exact opposite. They lost their first game and won their first game. So over here in this matchup, I think that Thundurus T is going to be huge for Munchlaxer United just because of its coverage. He has a lot of things that are commonly weak to things. So like Thunderbolt is going to be doing a lot of damage, Volt Switching is going to be doing a lot of damage, and that's something that I think is going to be really great, because Thundurus T has a great move pool, and Nasty Plot is something that everyone always has to prep for. So that's something I think is going to be pretty huge in this battle. While on the Maryland Torterrapins, they actually benched their MVP Togedemaru. That thing needs to take a break. He's a bit chubby. He needs to settle down a bit. I think Gothitelle is going to be huge in this battle just because of its shadow tagging abilities. Can trap things that you don't want to be trapped. So like things like Toxapex, things like Donphan, Milk Tank, Lycanroc Midday, Magnanium. A lot of those things don't want to get trapped. So with the range that it has in terms of like move pool, once again, that seems to be a common thing in this thing, it can hit those things for super effective damage and really put a dent on King Bub's defense. So that's something that you always have to prep for. It puts items that you don't want an item on, so you don't want to equip your Pokemon with a Shed Shell. So that's going to play some mind games already, and it's going to be a big factor in this battle. Alright, so for our third matchup over here, we have the New Jersey Weaviles versus the Denace. In terms of this matchup, I think Mega Sableye has a really great advantage over here, because the only thing that really takes care of it is Tapu Koko, and you can see that coming a mile away. So as long as he plays it well and keeps it around long enough, I think Mega Sableye can really put in a lot of work, and it can chip on a lot of things that don't really want to get that chip damage. Mega Sableye will like either Calm Mind, making sure that hazards stay off. There's a lot of things that it can do, and it can slowly chip away Tapu Koko and really put him on his heels for that. In terms of the Denace, I think Alolan Muck is going to have a great game in this battle. I know the obvious is like Tapu Koko, so that's why I want to go with Alolan Muck. Alolan Muck can actually break down Mega Sableye, give it a poison, and as long as he can spread the poison around, I think the New Jersey Weavils will have a tough time with that because their only real clerk right now is Celebi. So keeping that in mind, there's a lot of things that, a lone Muck can do, and if it comes in there and really makes it a lot easier for Tapu Koko to come in and sweep, then it's GG. It's going to be GG for that, and they're going to pick up a victory. But like I said before, I think Mega Sableye has a great opportunity to really push for a bounce back game for the New Jersey Weavils after getting 6-0'd. So it's going to be really interesting to see that matchup. Finally finishing off the Sun Conference is the Harlem Gloomtrotters versus the Wolverhampton Weavils. Now this is also a battle of the Zards. We have Zard Y representing the Weavils and Zard X representing the Gloomtrotters. And these are the two ones that I also think that can really shift the tide for either team, because Zard Y breaks so many walls. It is such a wall breaker, and the Gloomtrotters don't really have a reliable switch in terms of what can really take it. I know he has Reniculus and Licky Lick, but even those things can't really take a Fire Blast under the sun. So it's going to be really how he manages his team in terms of damage and how he can make the sun not hurt him so much. Perhaps he could bring rain or something like that, but it's going to be interesting how he deals with Zard Y. While the Harlem Gloomtrotters are 2-0, I think they're fully capable of handling Zard Y, but they have their own Zard on their side, having the Zard X, which brings a whole field of problems, especially with a team like the Harlem Gloomtrotters. They bring some really innovative sets, so that's going to be something really to watch out for. Zard X really breaks a lot of things on anyone's teams, having access to like Thunder Punch, Earthquake, Flare Blitz, Outrage, Swords Dance, Dragon Dance. It has a big range of moves that it can really use. So that's something I'm going to be looking forward to and really watching out for. Houdini's excited for it. Whenever he hears the battles of the Zards, this is the battle that you're going to have to watch out for. So that's going to be finished off the Sun Conference. We're going to move on to the Moon Conference, the final 4 battles, and yeah. So to start off the Moon Division, we have the Juventus versus the Scandinavian Stoutlands. I think Magnezone is looking real nice in this matchup just because it deals with Talonflame. I can see Talonflame being a real big problem. Just for the likes of Boswell, his MVP, that's been really, really good for him so far. And it does take in a lot of things, plus it allows him to do some Volt Switching, and Flash Cannon Analytic is just so good right now. So I can see it breaking a couple walls and doing a lot of damage. However, for the Juventus, they are 0-2, but they have gone against some really great opponents, and oh boy. I'm looking at the team, and Manaphy has a really great matchup, especially on a team that's primarily sand. So I can see Manaphy having the time of its life right now, even perhaps going for like a Tail Glow, Energy Ball, and just 4 or 3 moves, sort of something like that, or even bringing out the rain to make sure that sand doesn't take over the battlefield. Manaphy sort of gives that versatility, or that option where it doesn't become a huge factor into the game. Next up, we have the Pittsburgh Pyros versus the Birmingham Spritzies, and Weavil's really looking threatening over here just because a lot of the Pittsburgh Pyros team does not appreciate it, like Lando, Slowking, Kumala, Lucario at some point if it's carrying like a low kick or a brick break sort of move. Even Wobbuffet can't trap it, Dritagon, and Pulsand. So a lot of those things do not appreciate Weavile. As long as the Spritzies wear down the team and let Weavile come in and simply finish off the game, I could see that being one of the options that happens in this game. And Weavile has a really great opportunity to become MVP at this week. While on the other side of the field, we've got Clefable, who's just a bulky team. It's hard to see the Pyros really picking up a lot of momentum because like things like Lucario or like even Slowking, Arcanine, or Lando, a lot of them get stopped by either like Dugtrio or Weavile. So Clefable's going to need to be that defensive mon that really puts in a lot of work, perhaps even going for the Thunder Wave or pulling some sort of tricks upon itself and really like dwindling down the team. That's something that I could potentially see happening too. So if Clefable can like go for the Thunder Waves, go for the Moonblast, and chip and keep on chipping at it and make sure that Weavile isn't a big factor in this battle, then I can see the Pyros picking up for their very first victory this week. Next up, we have two 2-0 teams, that being the Long Island Golducks and the Durham Druddigons. For this matchup, I can see Galvantula being real essential in this battle just because the Druddigons do not have any hazard control. So whether it be laying down some webs or just really breaking a lot of things, so damaging Necromancer, damaging Shaman, even Jolteon 2 with the Bug Buzz. Seismitoad does not appreciate Energy Ball. And a lot of things do not appreciate Thunder. So I can see Gavantula really put in some fine work in this battle. And if the Long Island Golducks can set up some rocks, that's going to be even so much that's going to be really awesome, so much more better. I can speak English. As for the Dirtym Druddigons, I can really see Mimikyu really put in some fine works because it can take away Delamise, it can put away Tangrowth, Garchomp, Victini. It has a great matchup, especially with Swords Dance and Shadow Sneak. It can put in some great work, and I'm really looking forward to seeing if Mimikyu comes. It put in some fine work. Some key notes over here too. The Long Island Golducks had the differential of 1 for both of the wins, and the Druddigons had a 3 and 2 differential. So it's gonna be real. It's gonna be a test of real character to see this battle, and perhaps this is gonna be the battle of the week to really watch out for, because 2-0 teams, great teams. It's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out. So our last matchup over here is the AS Rowlet versus the Tennessee Dynamos. Over here I can see the Nidoking being real big for the AS Rowlets just because it has the ability to take out Mega Pinsir, Skarmory, Raikou, Florius, a lot of his more defensive core. So that's going to be something to really watch out for. That's something that just sticks out to you right away, and Nidoking has the ability to make things disappear in the blink of an eye, so that's something that's going to be real big in this battle. While on the opposite side of the spectrum, it's the thing that's going to have to stop Nidoking or potentially take down Nidoking, and I think that's going to be Meloetta. Meloetta can really stop that. It has great coverage, it's so versatile. I think people forget how versatile it is and how bulky it is, and how it can fit in a supportive role or an offensive role, and it's not slow. It's actually faster than Nidoking, so that's something that could potentially factor into the battle. Yeah. But that's been this week's previews. I hope you guys enjoyed this new format, and be sure to let me know in the comment section down below if you have any constructive criticism, any feedback or something like that. I would really appreciate it, and I also appreciate if you smash that like button just to give me an indication if you do like it. If you don't, I'm sorry, I apologize. Yeah, anywho, be sure to check out all the coaches and the analysts, and I'm gonna get going. So have a good night, a good morning, or a good evening. Peace.